Sometimes a measurement is taken in one particular unit, but would be more useful in different units. So it's helpful to know how to convert from one unit to another without having to remeasure the object. That's what I'm going to show you in today's lesson, measurement conversions. We'll start by looking at a table of common facts that we know about units of measure within the same measurement system. The column on the left shows equivalent measurements in the customary system. The right column does the same in the metric system. Our knowledge of proportions is going to come into play here. Let's look at example 1a. The volume of something, let's say orange juice, was found to be 20 quarts. We want to determine how many gallons of orange juice that is. So we can start by finding a conversion factor on our table that shows the relationship between quarts and gallons. I see that about halfway down the left column, so I will circle that. Next, we will write that relationship as a ratio in the fraction form, making sure to include our unit labels. Then we will set up an equal ratio with the same unit labels in the same places and fill in the measurement of orange juice that we know. So now we have a proportion with one missing value. We will label the missing part J. And our task now is to use our previous skills to determine the number that J stands for in this proportion. You've learned a couple of different methods of doing this. Any of them will work if you apply them correctly. But I can see that mental math is possible here, so I am going to choose to use that skill. I start by looking to see whether I know both of the units in the numerator, the top part, or both of the numbers in the denominator, the bottom part. And I see that on the denominator, I know the numbers. I know a 4 and a 20. And I know that I can easily turn a 4 into 20 by multiplying by 5. I could do that using mental math. So I know that the top number, my numerator, has to also be multiplied by 5. And in doing so, I know that 1 times 5 equals 5. So therefore, I have determined that the number of gallons equal to 20 quarts must be 5. So I wrote J equals 5 gallons, put a box around it, and I'm done with example A. Let's move on to example B. In this example, we have a known value of 1,500 grams, and we want to convert that into kilograms. So I can even start by putting my labels in my proportion, making sure that the same labels are on the tops of both sides and on the bottoms of both sides. Now I need to look at the table of information to find out what is the relationship between grams and milligrams. So I see that at the bottom of the right-hand column, that 1 gram equals 1,000 milligrams, and I'm going to go ahead and circle that. And I'm going to put those numbers in the right spaces, so I know 1 went with grams and 1,000 goes with milligrams. So now I look at what was actually measured in example B. I have a measurement of 1,500 grams. So that number 1,500 has to go on the top to go with the label grams. And that means that my missing number is milligrams, and I'm just going to go ahead and call that X. And my job now is to figure out what is the value for X. So once again, I see that I can use mental math on this. Because I know that to turn a 1 into a 1,500 means I have to multiply by 1,500. So I must do the same thing for the denominator. I must take the 1,000 milligrams that I had and multiply that by 1,500. When I multiply 1,000 by 1,500, I find that my value for X is 1,500,000, and the label for that unknown was milligrams. So I have now been able to determine that 1,500 grams is the same thing as 1,500,000 milligrams. I would like you to now try examples C, D, and E on your own before you move on to the next video.